Whoops. I have ADD. I have really bad ADD. Okay, let's get rid of that screen because we're already coming in choppy. Am I even doing? Yes, I am doing this. Okay, there. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. I cannot figure it out. I spent a lot of fucking money. There we go. I spent a lot of fucking money on this computer, and it's kind of slow. Um, okay. Now, I changed the background of OBS to a white screen, so I don't know if I like the light with this or just this. So we're gonna do little. There's gonna be a lot of audience participation, and if you are watching this on X or YouTube, I'm not talking to you. Get the fuck over to Rumble. Because that's the only place where there is a live chat. YouTube, I think there is one. I just don't know how to turn it off. But guys, in the audience, we got Crazy Moan McGroin, Holland Jancock, Moon McDare. What's up, people? Let me know what you think looks better. Okay, so light on or light off. Okay, so this is light off. This is just my computer screen acting as kind of a ring light. Tell me what you think is better. Alexa, desk light, soft white. Okay, so should I go fully light like this? Okay. Should I do the classic show that we've been doing where you can see the couches and everything? Or Alexa, desk light blue. I think I like the light on, but I don't know. I want to get your thoughts because this is very ominous in the background. It brings out the background more, but it's not as bright right here. Anyway, that's just a little you guys tell me in the chat. I think I'll probably turn it back on, but let's do this for a couple of minutes. Also, so this is going to be a really good show, guys. Like this, share this. I am going to be going on live with Sid and Friends in the morning on 77 WABC. Light on. Okay, we got one for on. And I'm going to be doing it live on this show today. We're going to be cross streaming because I have figured out how to take phone calls. I figured out how to bring in phone calls. I'm gonna see. I just told my buddy to call in. Alexa, desk light, soft white. Okay, here we go. All right, and we are live, De Palma.
What's up, dude?
All
What's
right,
up, man?
what's up? So, I got people in the chat here, and I just want to make sure they can hear you. So
Okay.
I'm going to be.
It's a continuation of like troubleshooting like yesterday.
Yeah, it's basically. So we did the troubleshooting yesterday, but I don't know how they hear you. I don't know if your volume is good. So, guys, in the chat, Crazy McGroin on the edge, can you hear my friend well enough, or is he too low, or does it sound grainy? What's up? Let me know in the chat. So, what are you doing, buddy?
I'm actually shadowing. So Danny's going in for surgery on Friday. So
Oh, what do he
I'm
do
down.
now?
Who fucking knows, dude? Something bone.
Danny's had some fucking hernias and broken things. Can hear, but
Something.
barely.
Yeah, something masturbation and self mutilation
Mess.
related.
Okay, I just turned up the volume on my speakers or on my phone. I got it cranked here. Somebody said you're coming in low. Let me see if that helps. And I got some buttons on this. Bro, I don't know how to even do technology and I got so much shit that I don't know how to use.
And the fact that you know vastly more about technology than I do tells you all you need to know about how stupid I am.
All right, guys, I just turned his volume up. Is that better? They can hear you, but it's too low, and we're gonna go live no matter what.
I'm on AirPods right now.
No, you're fine. I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay.
They are going through an input. I have this fucking like soundboard looking thing. And I plugged my phone into the soundboard and you're plugged into that. So I don't know. I know I can hear you fine. I just don't know if they can hear you.
How to adjust the controls for
Ex-
like the output for your audience.
yeah, there's only one fucking button here that does volume and it's cranked. So, guys, if
Talking to the wrong fucking guy, bud.
getting better at internet and can hear him better now. It's good now. We figured it out. We did it. All right. We are good. All right. So you have successfully helped me with my technical you are my technical assistant and
Yeah.
and I'll get you to come on the show through Skype sometime soon whenever you're ready. But I'm going to
Honestly, Danny's job site's a fucking joke, dude. He's got like a trailer with like fucking. It's dude. My job site. I'm in my cock on a fucking sheet of ice. Dude. He's got a trailer. I'm in there watching I Spit on Your Grave right.
All right. Well, let me get back to my show because I do have to go live in 15 with Sid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Do your thing. Call me later.
All right, bro.
I'm gonna go see Ma today, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta go.
Go see mom and let me know how it goes.
I got you.
All right, bye. All right, guys, we figured it out. We did it. We can now take live callers. We can stream live. Alexa, desk light soft white. I think we decided that the light on was better. Alexa, desk light soft white. There we go. Light on is better. Volume is good. We are good. Let's fucking go. So, like I was saying, Sid and Friends will be he told me to call in at 7:25. I have a timer here and when this goes off, I'm going to call in. Said I might be on hold for a minute. We're going to essentially do this show. So I was out with my buddies last night and you can download the if you want to listen to his whole show, the 77 WABC app and I was just listening to him before the show started, and he shouted me out. He said we're going to be having on Misfit Patriots, so it's legit. I have not been pranked. It's really, but I was out with my buddies last night, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going on Sid Rosenberg tomorrow," and he was like, "You're going on Sid Rosenberg?" I was like, "Yeah," and I was thinking, "Oh, this guy's a New York radio host." So why would my friend in Texas have heard of him? And apparently he's very well known. I didn't know that. Um, should be going on a news network sometime in the next, but within the next week too. I've been invited to Israel. I've told you about that. I don't know if I can go or when I can go to Israel because I've been dealing with my mom's health. My buddy right there, Ryan, is gonna go visit her today. Mom's not doing good, but it's okay. You know, every time you give bad news, like it's like you get the oh, I'm so sorry, and I'm like, I don't want you to say sorry. I know it's weird, but it's just I'm like, hey, this is life, right? My mom is terminal, and we had so many good times together. All the people, some people are even in this chat right now that helped donate and raise money so that I've been able to go up there more. I've been able to give her the best care. I've been sending her DoorDash. Like, fuck it. This lady I have spent like hundreds and hundreds of dollars every week on her DoorDash while she's been in the hospital for the past 3 months, 2 months, no, 3 months now, I think. So I would have, you know, I don't care about the haters, but when the haters are like, oh, you raised money, it's like, yeah, I fucking did. My mom asked me to, right? Like, if you go back to the video from last May, I think it was last May, my mom was just sitting with me and we were talking about things and she was like, she's like, I need some money. And I go, I got you, and 500 here, 1,000 there. I supported my mom and took care of my mom because she's on fixed income for years. That's what a good son does. Your parents raise you, then you take care of your parents. But I don't think people understand how insanely expensive a any tragedy that you're not expecting takes, right? I was like, I have to work. I have a job. I have my own bills, and I took off work. So my income is not coming in because I'm jumping back and forth and this and that. Um, but she wanted me to start a fundraiser. I started the fundraiser thinking, yeah, we might raise a few grand. Fucking, we almost hit $50,000. The goal was I just put 50K on there, kind of like as a aim high, and maybe they'll take it like seriously. But it was for all of her bills. We paid off. She wanted to pay off her credit cards. I told her she shouldn't. I was like, "Why are you going to pay off your credit cards? You're dying." But she wanted to. She gave a few thousand to my brother. She gave money to my nephew. She's generous. She bought me a computer. Full disclosure, a laptop. But it's her money. She can do what she wants with it. And she told me to use it. She's literally said, I want you to use this to for all your trips back and forth because it's not fair to you. So I've used some of it for that. I have plenty of it left over. It's going to be paying for her funeral. It's going to be paying for a memorial service. We're going to get a plaque with her name on it put on this beautiful memorial at the place that she's at right now. So it, yeah, it sucks that my mom's dying, but the past her her diagnosis brought me together with a lot of you, and it's a blessing, man. Life's a blessing, and we're all gonna die someday. So don't be sad, is all I'm saying. I'm just don't be sad. It's like I'm gonna be sad, but don't be sad. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to say thank you. But let's we got about 12 minutes before we jump on with the um radio show that we're going to be calling into. Good thing we got my buddy De Palma to call in because he just we just figured out that if I had just streamed, we wouldn't have been able to hear him, and I didn't want to be on Sid's radio show going like, "Hey, hang on, I need to find out if your volume is good." Got the volume fixed. So that should be interesting. We're going to be jumping on a very popular New York radio show. It's not a podcast; it's a radio show. Very soon, but we might be able to get one or two headlines in. If you have never watched the Daily Breakdown before, what I do is I go on the internet and I type in the word news. That's all this show is. I mean, sometimes I add extra shit, but this is just the news. It's usually called just the news. Today I got the Zelenskyy in here. Let's see if we can get through this first headline in the next 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll break it down. So Trump calls for Ukrainian elections based off of Russian disinformation. Zelenskyy says. So the calls for Zelenskyy to have an election. For those of you that don't know, Zelensky suspended elections in Ukraine when this war started. And then we gave him $200 billion. This motherfucker is preaching about democracy and freedom while suspending elections. That's not a democracy. Okay? I mean, that's a regime actually. And the argument is you can't hold an election while there's a war going on because the soldiers won't be able to vote. You're sending them fucking bullets, right? Cool. Send them ballots. What the fuck? We have mail in. Didn't the United States, the pillar of democracy, just send out millions of ballots? Is Zelensky saying that mail-in ballots are fraudulent? Is that what he's about to tell us? No, you can do an absentee ballot for every soldier, right? And you have the military do their own voting. We've done this throughout history. There have been multiple wars, world wars, where elections were held during them and they turned out just fine. So this bullshit excuse of the election won't be fair while there's a war going on is just that. It's bullshit because Zelenskyy is polling at 4%. That's why he doesn't want to have an election. And Crazy Moan McGroin in the chat already beat me to it. He has also closed down churches. Now, these churches he claims were tied to Russia, so that's why he closed them down. But there's been no fucking real evidence that the churches themselves were doing anything other than holding mass. He closed down all Orthodox churches in Russia. He arrested priests. His political opponents have been assassinated. Like there have been his political dissidents have magically died. He's a fucking dictator. That doesn't mean Putin's a good guy. Just means that Zelensky's not a good guy. Two things can be true at the same time. Dictators can fight each other. It's possible. So, Trump, or sorry, the left has said Putin has ordered him to hold elections if he wants to do peace, and Trump came out and put a quash to that. But let's read this headline real quick. Ukrainian President Voldemort Zelenskyy hit back at President Donald Trump's call for the country to hold fresh presidential elections following Tuesday's historic Russia-U.S. talks in Saudi Arabia. The Ukraine was not invited. just saying, you're not invited. We're going to talk about you. Represent an important step forward. Hours after the talks concluded, Trump told reporters at Mar-a-Lago that Zelensky's approval rating was at 4%, failing to provide a source for the figure. Okay, fine. Trump is being hyperbolic again. Maybe it's not 4%. Maybe it's 10%. Maybe it's 20%. It doesn't fucking matter. He doesn't have support in his own country. That's a fact. You can look that up. The media loves to fake news Donald Trump by taking something that Trump says that's hyperbolic, or Trump will cherry pick a source, and then they go, look at Trump spreading disinformation. Trump is not spreading disinformation. He's spreading an opinion. It's not disinformation. Not everything that comes out of your fucking mouth needs to be fact-checked. Okay? Sometimes people can just say words and their intentions aren't to mislead or lie. Sometimes that's just their personality. Some people are very bombastic and hyperbolic. Trump is one of those people. I was just talking about this last night at the bar with my buddy. One of my buddy's friend doesn't like Trump, and he's like, yeah, he lies. I'm like, bro, it's hyperbole. Get over it. Politicians fucking lie. They lie to your fucking face. Remember Obamacare? You can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan. Bet this motherfucker voted for that guy. So it's stupid. But I gotta remember when I take this phone call not to swear, because I have a radio voice and I have my regular voice, but I'm doing my regular voice and I'm gonna have to turn that swearing shit off and remember it. Like, don't say fuck. Maybe you can say fuck on his radio. I don't know, but I'm not gonna find out. Anyway, if someone wants to replace me right now, then right now won't work, Zelenskyy said. If we were talking about 4%, then we have seen this disinformation. We understand it comes from Russia, and we have evidence. Okay, so post your fucking evidence, dude. What is the percentage of people that support you? It's not a lot, since you're conscripting your own citizens. You're rolling up to the people of Ukraine in vans, and you're throwing them in a fucking truck, and you're telling them to fucking go to die so that you can have your hold on, I'm getting text from Sid. So that you can have your war. So you can get your money laundering operation. It's like, dude, that's what it is. It's a fucking money laundering operation. It's like the Ukrainian war, like the war in Israel, it's a real war. It's a real fucking war. I mean, and by real, I mean the intentions behind it are exactly what you're seeing. Fucking Hamas hates Israel. Israel hates Hamas. The people, the cultures cannot coexist. They are clashing and they are killing each other. The Russia-Ukraine war, They're a very similar demographic of people. They don't hate each other. It's just political. There's a difference between an ideological war and a political war. And the one in Ukraine is a political war. Russia was like, hey, I don't like how y'all motherfuckers is speaking to NATO. I don't like how y'all motherfuckers are constantly talking shit. Okay? Now, you got this fucking country right next to mine, and you got this little cunt who keeps talking shit. And if you fucking put him in NATO, I will invade Ukraine and I will fuck him up. And then what does Kamala Harris and Joe Biden do? They're like, we're going to make Ukraine a NATO ally. And Putin was like, I fucking told you, motherfuckers. Now, does that make Putin the good guy? No, you don't invade another country and kill people. But he did warn you. He did. He did tell you. It's like, you guys, the day he did that, there should have been a universal just kidding from every NATO ally. Okay, all right, nope. Russia, stop killing people. We won't bring Ukraine into NATO. Nope, that's not what happened. No, Joe Biden's administration just doubled down, talked shit, and threw $200 billion of your taxes at this death and destruction where millions of people have now died because of a political war. The ideological war that's happening in Israel, we haven't, there was no stopping that. That's a 3,000-year-old holy war. There's a big fucking difference between instigating a war. And by the way, there's wars in the Middle East that the U.S. has instigated. I'm not saying that we're fucking altruistic. We're the bad guy, the U.S., in a lot of situations. But I'm just trying to tell you the difference between these two things. Because the conflation between them from fucking some people and the gaslighting has got to fucking stop. All right. Let's see. What else did this little cunt say? Hours after the Russia discussions concluded, Russia launched a major missile and drone barrage into Ukraine. Got to get those last few in. Ukraine's Air Force reported 167 drones and ballistic missiles were intercepted, and 56 more lost in flight. Zelenskyy said in a post to social media that that they were targeting civilian energy facilities like Chernobyl, apparently, which was very sketchy. Oh, here we go. The timer just went off. Okay, let's take a pause, right? So we'll pause this here. Timer went off. Let's call in.
Sid and friends in the morning.
Hey, Sid, this is Zach Bonfilio, a.k.a. the Misfit Patriot. I was told to call in.
What's up, Zach? Hey, it's Justin. I'm Sid's producer. How you doing?
Good. I'm just a fair warning. I told Sid I was going to be live streaming this on my show, so you are live, just to let you know.
Great. What are you doing it on Instagram?
Rumble, X, and YouTube.
Oh, okay, great. All right, perfect. Got it. All right, so let me just pop you on hold. That's great. He's gonna love that.
All right.
Bring that up though, on the air.
I will.
Like that. Let me just get you on hold here. We got a bit of a break here, probably about three minutes, and then he's gonna get right to you. Okay.
Awesome.
All right, hang on.
Okay. Days and days now. Southbound on the Garden State Parkway at exit 147, a 4-car accident being cleared up and out of the way, and then getting on the turnpike.
So let's put this on speaker, and I'll plug him back in when he joins the call. So, Sid and friends, let's get this presentation back up. You know what? Actually, let's plug it back in because I don't want to.
For qualified buyers, schedule a test drive today at Jaguar, Marlboro, a Ray Katina dealership. I'm Joe Nolan with traffic on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
How are we doing, guys? Can we hear this?
You or someone you know was a patient of urologist Darius Paduch. Listen closely.
So you guys are
serving life in prison
right
for
now.
exploiting male
Waiting.
the civil
You
case
guys can
against
hear
the
this
institutions that allowed
like
him
we
to
did with
operate
the,
is ongoing. If you were treated by Paduch at the Brady Urology Institute at Weill Cornell Medical Center, New York Presbyterian Hospital, or Northwell Health, act now. The statute of limitations is running out. Call 212-233-3600 or visit atdlaw.com for a 100% free and confidential consultation. Do it now.
It's Ocean Drive in Coney Island.
Ocean Drive is the only luxury residence in New York with a spectacular ocean view. You wake up in the morning and breathe that ocean air. I'm certified that you're going to live 10 years longer. When I became successful, I wanted to live on the ocean. If you have worked hard, you deserve an apartment on Ocean Drive too. Go to oceandrivenyc.com and reward yourself.
If you're a policeman, fireman, doctor, nurse, or teacher, you qualify for a limited time offer at oceandrivenyc.com. Terms and conditions apply. Here's a flag star at Westbury Music Fair concert update. February 26th, the Moody Blues John Ryan performing Days of Future Past. February 28th, it's Judy Collins. March 8th, Dionne Warwick singing all of her hits. March 15th, Burton Cummings of the original Guess Who 60th anniversary tour. Tickets off sale now at westburymusicfair.com. Of the Catholic Health Concert Series.
Hey, it's Sid here for Grand Central Men's Health. Erectile dysfunction can affect your outlook on life, cause depression, and much more. We have an experienced staff who will work with you to find a treatment path that could involve a variety of treatments to have you performing like you haven't in years. There's no one size fits all here. There are many different causes for ED. It can be heart conditions, diabetes, low testosterone, could be stress. There's a lot, and treatment plans vary as each patient is different. A lot of guys take pills, and every day we hear they don't work, they stop working, they work a little, not enough, or they come with unwanted side effects. There's a lot of frustration, skepticism, and negativity around getting the help you need. We'll have a different medical plan for ED, and all my guys today will visit them at GrandCentralMen'sHealth.com. That's GrandCentralMen'sHealth.com.
Real New York, 77 WABC. This is Sid and Fred in the morning. 77 WABC.
Okay, and we can hear this, guys, right?
I wanna live.
So TPH14 says commercial, which I'm assuming means you can hear it. I think it's confirmation.
The expression I never get. Keep me searching for a and I bet no
Part of those.
keep me searching for a
I love it. All right, so yesterday, I'm talking to my dear friend Siggy Flicker. I'm actually on like a three-way text with Siggy Flicker, Stella Escobedo, and Rabbi Kaplan. And Siggy goes, you got to get this guy on the show. So yesterday, as you know, Lou, I was fighting with all these idiots, and they're mostly my people, the Jews. I love the Jews. They're my people. They're effing morons. Okay? I've been over this a million times. So they're yelling at me because I reposted the column from the New York Post, which said the Bebas family is all dead. Now, by the way, Lou, Justin, how many months ago on this show, how many months ago did I say that they were all dead except for the father?
Many.
Many. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
months. I mean,
months.
almost a year,
Yeah.
I would think.
Well, they've been dead for almost a year.
Right.
But I actually said it about 2 months ago.
Okay.
I said, this is the worst kept secret in Israel. Everybody knows this. So I reposted the Post article and I said, now we level that place. So the Jews are coming at me. Don't you do that. Israel hasn't confirmed it. Hamas always lies. The Bibas family, they go, oh, I don't work for the Bibas family. I love them. I've had the cousin on the show, right? Right? The Rabbi Kaplan was with Jordan, the father, 2 days ago. I love him. Okay? But I'm doing a talk show about the biggest stories in the country and the world. And I want people to be pissed. Don't be pissed at me because of my social media post. Take that anger and put it towards Hamas. You retards. And they're fighting with me all day. So this guy, the Misfit Patriot, his name is Zach Bonfilio. He's got a big podcast. It's a big deal. He sends out a tweet. He says, now he knows nothing about what I'm doing, nothing. He says, hey, don't tell me I can't post this. He said the same exact thing that I was fighting about for 5 hours before I even saw the Misfits tweet. And Sticky goes, you'll love this guy. You got to get him on. So here he is. He's got a lot of fans. He's a big deal. He's known as the Misfit Patriot, my new friend, Zach. Good morning, Zach.
How you doing?
Well, I'm a little sick. My voice isn't great, but I didn't want to cancel because you got so many fans. People love you, and I love you. So I brought you on today. And again, you and I in lockstep yesterday, this idea that we can't post up because the Bibas family said or Israel hasn't confirmed, are these people nuts?
Well, what I said was Hamas killed Americans, which means I get to talk about it. Right? That's my position. While I respect the family and everything that they want to wait for confirmation. The issue with that is Hamas came out and said that they had killed these beautiful children. And yes, Hamas lies, but Hamas now has said we killed these beautiful children. So
Oh no. What they actually said was the Israelis
Israel.
killed them.
Yeah, they
Right,
said that,
because-
but
And I did have an idea. I have an IDF soldier who's a good buddy of mine, Zach, and she goes, that does happen, where what they do is they know beforehand where Israel's going to bomb. So these Hamas animals put the Israeli hostages in that building knowing that Israel's about to bomb it so they can blame Israel. That does happen.
well, yeah, the method of death actually doesn't matter because Hamas killed them
Correct.
when they went in on October 7th. So
Correct.
and the thing is, all right, so now Hamas has confirmed that they are dead. Hamas has said they are dead. So let's say they're alive. What Trump and Bibi should be doing right now is you have 24 hours for proof of life or we will rain down hellfire. That is what should happen because it doesn't matter if Hamas lies or not. The report is that they're dead. Now, when the New York Post and other places report something, I understand that there are certain people that are very emotional about this, and they might say, "Oh, well, be respectful to the family." I think it's I think it's our duty to get news out there, and unfortunately, you have to look at it as, of course, these people don't want their personal life put out there on the internet, but we're trying to deliver information that is crucial to inform the public about a very serious
Right.
situation.
Right. You talked about if they are alive and if they're not back in 24 hours. Here's the problem with that, Zach, or Misfit. I'll call you Misfit. Here's the problem. We just had one of those Trump declarations on Saturday. It's not Trump's fault. Trump said, you got the green light.
Yeah.
And Bibi did nothing. So all these, all hell, the gates of hell.
Appeasement doesn't work. It hasn't worked in 1600 years. It's not going to start working now. It's radical Islam is not the reason why the strategy of Hamas has been for the past 50 60 years, whatever it is, it's attack, hide, repeat, rinse, repeat, right? Attack, hide, rinse, repeat is because they know that Israel doesn't want to kill civilians. Right? If Israel wanted, so the narrative that's being pushed from these anti-Israel people is that Israel's committing a genocide. Israel could commit genocide in a weekend. Like they have plenty of bombs that they could just be dropping indiscriminately, but why are they dropping pamphlets, flyers? Why are they sending out alerts to people's phones? Why are they even telling people that they are about to bomb Hamas if they wanted
Right.
to commit a genocide? That's antithetical to the whole idea of a genocide. You know? So it's basically at this point the last bargaining chip that Hamas has is those children. And if they are gone, I think that this is what I said also after that post. If you were a hostage being held by Hamas right now and you were given the option, if you were able to talk to Israel and the option was we can take out Hamas 100% but you die too, or we can try to get you back, Hamas gets to regroup, live, and do another October 7th.
Every one of those hostages would take death. Everyone.
Exactly. That's what I would say the same thing. You know, I'd sacrifice myself for the greater good, and I think that we're at that point.
Yeah.
You know, you're not at that
Yeah.
point right away.
Just so you know, Zach, I would sacrifice you too for the greater.
Yeah, I would say I would sacrifice quite a lot because I watched the 47-minute video. I've watched the 57-minute documentary of Screams Before Silence. I know the
Yeah.
horrors that happen, and
Yep.
I don't think that we can I don't think we're Islamophobic enough. Okay? Like people talk about
Agreed.
Islamophobia like it's a
Agreed.
bad thing. Islam cannot coexist in a peaceful society. Even when they're just with each other, they kill each other. So you look at the UK, look at Germany, look at the statistics of rape that are skyrocketing every time you bring in this culture into a peaceful society. People say it can't coexist with Western civilization. No, it can't coexist with any peaceful civilization.
That's all true. So now what I'm going to do is this. This has been already a great 6-minute debut. Siggy was right. Stella was right. The rabbi was right. But now I'm going to tell everybody, Zach, the dirty little secret. Are you ready, folks?
Gotcha.
You know, Zach is talking. Smart, knows the history, knows Islam, no good. Palestinians, no good. Jews, no genocide. You ready for this? My friend Zach here, the misfit patriot, he's not Jewish. No, he's not Jewish. And I say that, and you giggle, but it means a lot to me because I am a Jew from Brooklyn who really refound my religion after October the 7th, and now I'm an animal. But it means a lot to me when Christians jump on board. That's why I love Mike Huckabee, even though I love David Friedman. So you become this immensely popular voice for my people. You're not even Jewish. God bless you.
Yeah, the problem is that unfortunately your voice won't be heard as loud if it comes from you. Think about it this way. Who's the biggest threat to like let's say the trans movement? It's another trans person like Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner who comes out and says you shouldn't be cutting off the body parts of healthy young children. When it's the opposing side or when it's not heard, it's not as damaging, right? But so the problem is we need Christians, MAGA, and the right to sort of jump on board because unfortunately there's this mini culture of right-wing people who have become essentially the modern neo-Nazi party, and we can't accept that. Now, like Trump's messaging is great on it, so at the very top we're good, but there's a lot of people online like these like Nick Fuentes types who have a decent following, and we have to call out our own side. So Christians who don't understand that Genesis, right, 12, 1 through 3, I will bless thee that bless them, applies to us, right? So I don't read the Torah, but I read the Old Testament because we are a Judeo-Christian society, and you have to include both. You can't just cherry pick you can't just say, "Oh, Jesus as soon as Jesus showed up, we start from there." No. God is God, Jesus is God, so we have to take in all of it. And the fact is the Jewish people, they are the chosen people. That's in the Bible, and anyone who disagrees with that doesn't understand how to read it.
I'm not going to argue that. So, do you? This is Zach, the misfit patriot. Do you consider yourself radical?
No, actually, the funny thing is, I'm the most banned person on the internet. And my takes are not radical. I don't self censor. I mean, I'm doing it right now because we're on radio. Don't self-censor, and I trigger a lot of people because I take a not popular view on certain topics. Like it's very easy to jump on the bandwagon of this American only isolationism. Some people are confusing MAGA or America first with America only. It's Israel, so it's not my problem. What they don't understand is it is our problem because those people chant death to Israel and then they chant death to America. The nation state of Israel is like a stopper at the bottom of a pool, and these people are desperate to unplug it, and the water is going to spill onto everyone. So, supporting Israel, while I take it from a religious perspective and an anti-terrorism perspective, because I remember 9/11, I also am well aware that the nation state of Israel is fighting our enemies, and they are an ally. It is an asset to have them as a friend.
Do you think the future is for Israel? I mean, you got Trump in office right now. He is the best president they've ever seen, right? You know what he did. I don't have to tell you. I mean,
Yeah.
moving the embassy to Jerusalem, the Golan Heights recognizes that. Abraham Accords, no more cash to the Palestinians. We know what he's done, okay? And unlike the last two Democrat presidents, both idiots, Biden and Obama, he gets along great with Bibi. He didn't for a while, but once he won, that was fixed. So the short-term relationship with U.S. and Israel is going to be great. Then we're going to get, Gaza Lago, and he's going to build all these beautiful condos, and it's going to be great. But moving forward, once Trump is out of office, do you have confidence that the U.S. and Israel will maintain a great relationship? Because, truth be told, 12 of the last 16 years, we didn't have it.
Yeah. I think that the best approach for Trump right now would be to set up a long-term system like the Abraham Accords, right? Continue those, start bringing people together. I think that his idea of rebuilding Gaza and having other nations, surrounding nations, invest in there is a masterful chess move because what he's going to do is he's basically going to bring in other Arab nations that now have investments in that region. So they would have shared interests with Israel. And if he does it right, if he sets it up so that it lasts past his 4 years, then I see Israel as I see this as the start of potentially the first domino falling down where they can achieve some semblance of peace, and I think long term. I don't think Islam is going anywhere with their whole death to America and what have you. But
Right.
but
Right.
what like just think about it like this. Let's say you get Saudi Arabia to build something inside the Gaza Strip. Now you got Iran who wants to attack Israel. That's now you're now fighting with Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Is as opposed to right now where Israel is in isolation relationship with America, you need to make more allies with Israel, which is what the whole intention of the Abraham Accords was, which is why it was so effective, even though short-lived because of Biden and the Democrats essentially just ruining it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's a good chance that Trump can set this up where it can outlive him.
About 2 minutes to go, Misfit. I want to talk about Ukraine. I am not a Zelenskyy fan. I've got Congressman Peter King is on hold listening to this right now. He's a great man, great congressman, one of the best politicians America's ever had. But I have been fighting with him for years about this Ukraine-Russia war. I don't trust Zelenskyy. Zelenskyy dodged a whole bunch of subpoenas. You know that.
Yep.
Years and years ago. Secondly, they haven't held a real election in Ukraine in like forever. I think, like Putin, they kill those poor people. So the idea that Zelenskyy is this great guy, this savior, when that crook is taking millions and millions of dollars, no question in my mind, from the United States. Now, look, I'm not going to go as far as Trump. He must have a second statement coming out soon because he's too smart for that. I'm not going to come out and say that, oh, Ukraine started the war. That's not true. Putin and Russia started the war. But I really can't find a lot of sympathy for Zelenskyy and the way the Ukrainian government runs that country.
So I don't know if I told you were going to be streaming live on my podcast. We're streaming live right now on Rumble, X, and YouTube. And right before we jumped on, I was talking about this exact thing. You see, the thing is, Putin being a bad guy doesn't make Zelensky a good guy. Zelensky is not he's talking about democracy, yet he hasn't had elections. He's arrested priests. He's shut down churches. His political opponents have magically been assassinated. He's, skirted indictments. It's essentially two dictators fighting over a land grab. And while, yes, Putin started the war, Putin also said, if you expand NATO by adding Ukraine, I will invade Ukraine. And then he did. So the move that should have happened immediately after the war, which is why Trump tries to articulate this, it never would have happened if I was president, is America and NATO should have been like, okay, back off. We're sorry. He won't be in NATO. That's not what happened. We doubled down. We kept on poking Putin, and he's fighting a bigger enemy. Ukraine can never win that war. So why are they throwing millions of dead bodies at this? Well, I think that it's because it's most likely just more of the military-industrial complex laundering our tax dollars so that they can get rich and Raytheon can grow. And the only thing that happens is just a whole bunch of Ukrainians and Russians die. And I think that that's disgusting. There's a big difference between the war in Ukraine and the war in Israel. One is an ideological war between two nations that have been fighting for 3,000 years, and the other is a political war between two dictators, one of whom we keep calling an ally. Tell me what we get from Ukraine besides mail order brides. I don't understand how they're an ally.
It's true. We got a lot of those.
Yeah.
I don't know either. I have no idea, and I've been spending 2 years trying to make people aware of who Zelensky is.
He's a bad guy.
And half don't. So he's a bad guy. Exactly right. You are not. Where can folks hear your brilliance? The Misfit Patriot. Where can they hear that? And what time? What day?
Yeah, I do a show on Rumble Tuesdays through Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central, which you're on right now. Say hi. And I'm also
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I'm also on X and Instagram under the Misfit Patriot.
All right. Listen, you're terrific. I want you to keep coming back. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
For hopping on this program today. My voice will be better next time, I promise, but this was a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, Misfit. There he is.
There we go, guys. That was the Sid and Friends in the Morning podcast on 77 WABC. Do the Howard Stern voice. WABC. So, I hope everybody heard that okay. I saw somebody saying too low and it was a little grainy. Again, you can go to let's see here. Whoop. The WABC app. I don't know. I'm assuming, I hope that they have, yeah, you see right here it says jumping ship. So look for what the hell is today? Look for the February 19th show. And I don't know, skip to 8:30 their time, AM. If you want to hear that, it might sound better. But until I hear the playback on this, I don't know how that came out as far as audio. But we have figured out, this is the most important part, we have figured out how to internet. Yay, we figured out how to internet. All I did was I plugged a cord in. It's the craziest thing. I figured out how to fucking internet. All on my own, by the way. I did that all on my own. I didn't call Sean. I didn't call anybody. I looked at the back of this fucking soundboard and there was a little picture of a phone. All right. That was a good show. Thank you. In the chat, TPH14. I thought that really went well. Yeah, he just texted me. You fucking killed it. We'll do it again very soon. So I guess we'll be going on as a regular guest, potentially. So that's really cool. I like that. I love doing stuff like that, man. Now, like we were just saying, me and Sid, Zelensky's not a good guy. As we were saying before, that this meeting between Saudi Arabia, Trump, and Trump's associates and whatever, it's how to end the war. And here's the bottom line, guys. When when a bunch of countries are getting together and saying we want to end the war, and then one side, Russia. Now you can't take Russia's word for it. Fair. It's very fair to say you can't take Russia's word for it. But when one side is saying, like Putin, yeah, I'd like to end the fucking war, and Zelensky's going, I don't know. It's like fucking, bro, Zelensky, Ukraine cannot ever win this war. They cannot get their land back. They fucked up and they picked a fight with a bigger enemy. It is time to tap the fuck out. I'm sorry, listen, you're going to hear the argument from the pro-Ukraine side saying, that's not fair. No, it's not fair. Life isn't fair, motherfucker. It's not fair. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why is it that everybody thinks that because you say something, you support it? I don't support what Putin did, but it happened. It's over. How many fucking bodies do you want to throw at this problem? It's like, dude, this is the part that nobody fucking understands. Israel has to go and kill Hamas. They have to. Okay? They have to. It's a fucking fact. They have to. After what Hamas did, basically fucking live streaming the murder and rape of 1,200 people, Israel has to kill Hamas. What does that mean? That means civilians are going to die. Just as like me and Sid were saying, Israel very well may have killed, they may have bombed Hamas. Hamas may have put their hostages underneath the bombs, and a bomb that Israel sent may have killed a civilian. But Israel didn't kill the civilian, Hamas did. When they fucking went in on October 7th. Oh, but this war's been going on since 1948. Israel started it. There have been 5 different fucking conflicts where Hamas goes in and does this bullshit, and you people keep on falling for it. Listen, Israel, in my opinion, and this is not a popular opinion. This is not popular. Israel should have just said, we don't care about the hostages. Fucking, this is over. Bye. Bye. Like, on October 8th, it should have been glass. That's my opinion. They should have done the exact same thing that we did in Hiroshima. You drop one fucking bomb, and you say, are you done? You drop a big, big, big bomb, and you say, are you done? And Japan went, nah, fuck you. And then 3 days later, you drop Nagasaki. And then you say, are you done? And they go, okay, we're done. You know who isn't fucking around anymore? Japan. That's the unfortunate truth that none of you want to admit. Sometimes you have to kill people to stop killing. I don't like it, but this is a hard to swallow pill. Nagasaki is what ended the fucking war, not Hiroshima. Okay? The US was attacked on Pearl Harbor. A war broke out. Hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands of people dying. The US decided we're going to drop a fucking big bomb on the people that won't stop fucking around. And then they said, hey, see what we just did? We'll do it again if you don't stop fucking around. And then Russia was like, hey, we're going to get their back. And the combination of Nagasaki and Russia going to support the United States, they decided finally, okay, we're done. Since then, now there were going to be hundreds of thousands of people that would have died if we invaded Japan with boots on the ground instead of a bomb. And that's what happened. Okay? Do you have an air pump for tires? War is hell. It's a tragedy that civilians die in war, but they do. There's nothing you can do about it. Once a war starts, you're going to have civilian deaths. It's time we acknowledge that. It's time you stop the emotional fucking responses. It's time people like Dave Smith knock this shit off, right? Because Dave Smith's argument, let's go and find this fucking tweet from comedian Dave Smith, who can't even fucking sell at a bar. Dave Smith's tweet was, it's childish and unserious pretending what's happened in Gaza is simply a military action to retrieve hostages. No, it's not. It's an operation to kill terrorists while they try to retrieve hostages. The supporters of Israel constantly oscillate between, this is Dave Smith. The supporters of Israel constantly oscillate between insisting that you feel horrible for the innocent victims of 10/7. You should. Oh, thank you, Dave. Do you feel bad that the Jews got killed? Okay, thank you, buddy. Okay. Anything that comes after but is usually bullshit. They can scream moral equivalency all they want, but that is nothing more than that most blatant form of moral relativism and superiority. Essentially, what he's saying is the people that were killed in response to October 7th are greater than the victims of October 7th. So we should be more mad at Israel for responding not proportionately. Okay? So by Dave's logic, we should feel more bad for the Japanese than the Americans, because we killed more Japanese than they killed at Pearl Harbor. Fuck you. Nope. Don't feel bad at all. Don't even feel a little bad. You attack a nation, you engage in an act of war, there should not be a proportional response. There should be an overwhelming disproportional response so that you never even fucking think of doing that shit again. That's how you deal with war. It's a very hard to swallow pill, but that's my opinion, and I'm not changing it. Okay. Next up, Trump's approval rating slips as Americans worry about the economy. Oh no! This is fucking more fake news. Watch. Watch. I guarantee it. I have not read this article. I have not fucking read this article. My eyes are closed because I don't even want to read the article. And I fucking bet you, he only dropped a couple of points. I bet you he only dropped a couple of fucking points and he's still at all-time high support. But let's find out. Now we're about to open our eyes and see what the fucking cunts in mainstream media have to say. Okay. President Donald Trump's approval rating has ticked slightly lower in recent days. I fucking knew it. They're already saying it. As more Americans are worried about the direction of the U.S. economy and the new leaders threaten a host of other countries with tariffs, the 6-day poll, which closed on Tuesday, showed 44% of respondents approved of the job Trump is doing as president, down from 45. I fucking knew it. 1%. He had a I did not read this prior. He had a 1% drop, okay? So, this is not news. Watch. Ready? Look at the headline. Trump's approval rating slips, and look at the actual fucking story. He dropped 1%. Okay, I'm sorry, 2%. Because in January, his approval rating was 47%. 2%. Oh no! 2%! The share of Americans who disapprove his presidency has risen more substantially to 51% in the latest poll, compared with 41% right after he took office. So what they're doing is they're taking the poll from like the day before he does anything, before he even gets one policy done, right? 51 or 41%, and now 51%. The polls are bullshit, guys. Trump enjoys a relatively high rate of approval on his immigration policy, which 47%, but the share of Americans who think the economy is on the wrong track rose to 53%. It's been 3 fucking weeks, guys. It's been 3 weeks. This is like the egg argument. The egg argument is Donald Trump hasn't brought down the price of eggs in 3 weeks, so the price of eggs is Donald Trump's fault. Like the plane crashes. Donald Trump's been in office for 10 days. The aviation system has been in place for 3 decades, but it's Trump's fault because a plane crashed a week after he took office. It's fucking garbage. Anybody that buys this shit is fucking retarded. Right? They're fucking retarded. I had somebody last night, I told you about my buddy's friend who's not a Trump guy. Last night, my buddy's friend, he was like, you know, the plane thing is kind of Donald Trump's fault because he fired some people. And I'm like, did you watch the video of the plane crashing? Because I watched the video of the plane crashing. The fucking plane in Toronto crashed because it came in like this. Okay, it came in like this. And then at the very last second, it did this. It literally, there were the 37 knot winds took the plane from this, which is how you're supposed to be when you land, to this. The fucking wheel hit. The fucking plane spun. How in the fuck is that Donald Trump's fault? Donald Trump, does he control the fucking wind? I thought the Jews controlled the weather. Trump's not Jewish. What's your next argument? Fucking insane that people are like Trump's fault. It's not Trump's fault. It's never going to be Trump's fault. Like under Joe Biden, there was a fucking train derailment every fucking day for like a month, and there were chicken fires, millions of chickens. He slaughtered 10 million chickens because he didn't know how to deal with the bird flu. By the way, bird flu applies to all birds. Somehow it only affected chickens. And your egg prices went way up. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. This is such garbage. It's getting to the point where it's like, does anybody believe the news anymore? I mean, really? I know that there is a small demographic of indoctrinated people that hate Trump, so they get confirmation bias from the news, right? There's a difference between hearing something that you want to hear and actually believing it. Like, I'm wondering, do people actually believe what they're saying? Because I don't think so. Pillar Trump's in the latest poll, 32%. So look, here's the deal. Let's end this one. Fuck that. The bottom line is Trump's approval rating is fucking fine. All right, Trump's approval rating is only going up, and it's going to get even better over time. And hey, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. All right, I told you guys I have Donald Trump tattooed on my leg, and I'm still not a Trump loyalist. If Donald Trump fucks up, I'm gonna say something. I still think he's the most iconic fucking president in history, which is why I got the fucking tattoo. All right, like he's a no matter what you think of him, no matter how many mistakes he makes, you need to look at your leaders like you look at a fucking baseball player, right? Flip the card over. Flip the fucking card over and look at their stats. Okay? Donald Trump is the GOAT when it comes to overall stats. Only fucking president in his first term didn't start a war. I bet you he's about to go for a twofer. I don't think there's going to be another war. I think that he's going to end 2 wars and not create any new ones. But who knows? You know, we can't control that, really. But let's see. Now, next up, judge denies request to temporarily block Doge's mass firings. That sounds like that means that's a good thing. Let me see if I read that correctly. A federal judge in Washington on Tuesday denied an urgent request to block Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency from firing employees or accessing sensitive records from half a dozen government agencies. Yes, that's good. Wow. Chutkin. Judge Tanya Chutkin who previously oversaw President Donald Trump's criminal election interference case, said the states did not show immediate irreparable harm that would result. Wow. I'm actually shocked. I figured Chutkin would just say, fuck it, I don't care, and do whatever the states wanted. This is good news. This means that there is some hope that this judge isn't a fucking paid off shill and she's just an activist. All right. 14 states were seeking a temporary restraining order. Da 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 da. All right. What else? Judge said that in order to issue a temporary restraining order, states would have to prove a threat of extreme and immense harm, and that didn't happen. Chutkin, however, sharply questioned why the government's lawyers appeared to have few details about Doge's overall conduct. Okay. Judges need to take a fucking seat, is my opinion. By the way, guys, if you guys want to read these articles, they are in the show notes. I try to put them in every day unless I'm running late. So you can go ahead and read. I do skim through these very fast sometimes because I'm not going to sit here and read them like Walter Cronkite. I just want to get you the general gist. Okay, so I think basically that's a good thing. I was actually thinking that was a bad headline, but that's a good thing. Okay. Finally, actually, you know what? I have one more clip I forgot to play. For this Ukrainian thing, there's some misinformation, some lying going on. I hate to use misinformation, but there's some lying going on that Putin is the one that said Zelenskyy had to hold elections in order for a peace deal. That is not true. Donald Trump is actually the one that came out and said that. Here you go.
We're hearing that Russia wants to force Ukraine to hold new elections in order to sign any kind of a peace deal. Is that something that the U.S. would ever support?
Well, we have a situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, or essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating, and where a country has been blown to smithereens. You got most of the cities are laying on their sides. The buildings are collapsed. It looks like a massive demolition site. The whole, I mean, so many of the cities.
You know what's funny is Trump's very consistent when he talks about both wars, about how he just doesn't like seeing the death and destruction. That is the fucking leader that you want. You want a leader who looks at a war as a bad fucking thing. All right? Like the language from the previous administration, right, under Biden and all the Democrats, it was like they were cheering this on. It's like they were like, Ukraine is fighting so hard. Yay! Meanwhile, Trump is like, I don't like it. I don't like that they're fighting. I don't want to see this. That's Trump's approach versus these fucking warmongers. Right? Like, warmongers are the fucking... No, you know what the thing about these warmongers in Washington? They are never going to be in a war. They're never going to be near a fucking war. They just cheer on the death and destruction that's happening thousands of miles away, while Trump looks at it and goes, this is awful. And look, the war in in Israel is awful too. And I'm cheering them on, saying you should bomb the shit out of them. But I'm saying it so that it stops. I'm not saying that you should have a forever war. I hate forever wars. I want this to end. And I think the best way it ends is fucking, I don't know, half a dozen Moabs. Right? That stands for Mother of All Bombs. Just fucking end it. End it now. Trump is an end it now president. That's the president you want. Not a, well, we'll see. We don't know. I mean, it's complicated. And Trump's like, no, let's get this shit over with, guys.
I mean, they haven't done it in Kiev because I guess they don't want to shoot too many rockets in there. They've done it 20%, but they haven't done it 100%. If they wanted to do it 100%, it would probably happen very quickly. But you have cities that are absolutely decimated. And yeah, I would say that, you know, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people have to wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, like, you know, it's been a long time since we've had an election? That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming.
There you go. That's straight from the horse's mouth. Trump is saying, it wasn't Russia, it was me. I'm the one that said, you better have fucking elections. And he's saying that's from a lot of people.
From many other countries also.
So, fake news. Be aware of fake fucking news. Fake news loves fake news because fake news gets clicks when you fucking fall for fake news. All right, we got one more story. And this one I'm very passionate about. IVF, right? IVF, Trump signed an executive order on IVF, and here's what you need to know about the procedure. Okay, so let's start off with Allie Beth Stuckey. I have nothing against this woman, okay? But her take, and some of these religious fundamentalists' take, is IVF is murder. Okay? I have a big problem with this. Abortion is murder. Okay? Killing a baby is murder. So how do I look at this is just my opinion. Okay? Her opinion's valid. But I think it's a stupid opinion, and I don't think that this is the hill we should die on. Over 90% of children created by IVF die. Now, let's break down that first fucking statement. Children are created by IVF. That's true. Over 90% of children created by IVF die. Not true. Right? Not true at all. Right? In order for that statement to be true, it would say, I don't have the statistic. So don't come at me. I'm just saying, I just know it's not 90%. The amount of children that were created and this is the key part, inserted into a woman's womb resulted in a miscarriage. I don't know the statistic on that, but it's not 90%. Okay? Miscarriages that started off with IVF are tragic, right? But I don't think, and I don't know, I don't think that there's a higher rate of IVF miscarriages. Maybe there is, all fairness. But what she's doing is she's misleading you with this statement. She's saying that 90% of all of the fertilized eggs on the table don't become a baby. That's the more honest way to report that. They're left frozen and abandoned, destroyed due to eugenics or experimented on or miscarried. Only 7% are born. Yeah, 7% are taken from the IVF fertilized egg thingy, put into a woman, and then born. That part's true. But this is very misleading. So my reply to her is 100% of the sperm that ends up in a teenage sock off, billions of your potential children die. Okay? But are we really overcorrecting that hard? There's more important things we can be focusing on than babies who never got to be born because they never even got to the stage of being inside of a human body. We are getting a little ridiculous with this over-the-top correction. I'm anti-abortion. I'm pro-life. But IVF is not the hill that we need to die on. And these, quote, created children, until they are placed inside of a human body, are not babies. They're not. I'm sorry. IVF, the whole procedure, this modern medical marvel, gives people who can't have children an ability to have children. That is a good thing. Okay? Like, until the... Now, look. We're arguing semantics here. But is life technically created at conception? Yes. Is taking somebody's sperm and somebody else's eggs, putting it on a table, and mixing it together, conceiving? I say no. right? Taking that science experiment, placing it into a woman's womb, I think that is creating a baby, right? Now people are like, this is the religious argument. People are like, but they're playing God. Well, God made them and they figured it out. So God technically made the baby. If like God made us in his image. Gave us the ability to come up with these modern medical miracles, right? If Allie Beth Stuckey ever fucking puts an aspirin in her mouth, apparently she's playing God because she stopped a headache. It's like, come on, guys. We're getting ridiculous. You know how I feel about extreme anything, okay? I'm a Christian and I hate Christian extremists. I'm a patriot and I hate nationalists. I'm a fucking I just stop being so fucking ridiculous is all I'm saying. Here's something that you should be extreme on. The Constitution. Okay? Be an extreme constitutionalist, right? Is it legal? Did we go through a whole process to get to this point? If so, you're fine. Now, take your religion. You can be an extreme religious person. Just stop bringing politics into it. This is why I have a problem with the Pope. Okay? Your personal beliefs are yours. Stop fucking imposing them on the rest of society. Because what you want to do is you want the whole world to conform to your religious ideology. And religious ideologies are like a spectrum. They're a sliding scale. There are people like me that go to church not as much as I should, and there are but believe in God, pray, and try my best to be a good person. And then there are people that go to church every Sunday and they follow the Bible to the letter, and they're basically extremists, and they tell everybody that they're going to hell, and they don't like gay people and blah blah blah. It's a little fucking it's a little much is all I'm saying. Now the reason why I don't like this to be such a I don't like the optics of it, same reason I don't like the anti-Jew crowd, is this woman is a Trump supporter. I'm a Trump supporter. So we're on the same team. We're in the same camp, right? And when people look at your ridiculousness, they look at me and they go, "Are you also ridiculous?" And I'm like, "No. I'm in the middle. I'm on the right side of the middle." Can everybody just move to the middle, please? That's all I'm saying. Can everybody just come over here and join us? It's warm here. So nice. Oh, well, let's go ahead and let's do a breakdown. All right. On Tuesday, President Trump signed an executive order aiming at reducing the cost of in vitro fertilization, a medical procedure that helps people facing infertility build families. Pro-life. America needs reliable access to IVF, and cost per cycle ranges from $12,000 to $25,000. Providing support and awareness, the elder instructed. IVF became a talking point at the 2024 election. Trump said he strongly supported it. 2018, assisted reproductive technology contributed to 2% of all infants born. That's good. And what else? What is IVF? Just in case you don't know. When a woman has trouble getting pregnant, it involves retrieving the woman's eggs, combining them in a lab, in a dish with the man's sperm to create a fertilized embryo. This is important because that's not a baby. That's a fertilized egg. Okay? Not a baby. In my opinion, not a baby. Is it life? Yes, they've created life. But if you leave that fucking dish on the table, will it ever become a baby? No. No. It will not become a baby. No matter how many heat lamps you put over it, never once will it be a baby. So it's not a baby. If you put it into a woman and you leave it alone, it becomes a baby. So once you take the dish of jizz and eggs, then you put it into a woman, you have now started the process of creating life. Right now, egg egg and jizz. It's just a dish of egg and jizz. I'm sorry. I have to be funny because this is so ridiculous. I need to break this up with comedy. Does insurance cover the procedure? Who gives a shit? Honestly, who cares? What is the history of IVF? It was about 1978. You want a history lesson? Go read the fucking article. But how are embryos made? The treatment often uses hormones to trigger ovulation, so multiple eggs are produced, and a needle is used to remove them from the ovaries. How are embryos frozen and stored? Yeah, you think that frozen jizz eggs are a fucking baby? It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. Crazy Moan McGroin. Beat you again, Misfit. God allowed the doctors to help these people have kids by figuring out how to do procedure. Exactly. If God didn't want IVF, then he wouldn't have made people that could have figured it out. Right? God is omnipotent. He knows all. It's fucking insane. Middle keeps the balance. Correct. The Pope has double pneumonia. Ask for continued prayers. Don't think he wants the prayers I'd be praying. Same here. I am very careful about how I speak on this, but the Pope has double pneumonia, and I don't know if I want him to get better. I'm sorry, guys. I don't wish death on anybody. I don't want him to die. I just don't know if I want him to keep being the Pope, if that makes sense. I don't want... He's a political activist who is making my religion look absolutely fucking ridiculous. So, no, I don't wish the Pope to die. I don't want him to die. But if God's plan is for him to not get better, I think I'm okay with that. I hope I don't go to hell for that. But I'm just being honest. Look, it was already in my head, so I was going to hell anyway. Okay? It's like people think that as soon as you vocalize something, it becomes a sin. Nah, it's a sin up here too. Okay? Even if you never say it, it's still a sin. So, there's a lot of sin going on up here. A ton of it, actually. It's fucking way too much. I try to do my best to yell at it, but it's there. All right, let's do the shout-outs. The longer I keep this fucking thing on, the more it hurts my head. And we've done almost an hour and a half. So, let's go. We got Crazy Moan McGroin in the chat, in the red. That is a subscriber. You should be one too. The subscribers are better than you. That is what you do. You give me money so I can talk. I'm just kidding. I don't care if you do. I kind of do. Give me money. Eden X on the Edge, Emerald Sonic 78, TPH 14. Who else we got in here? Renee 1776, Moon McDare, Han Jencock, Mr. Say, and I think that's everybody. So, it's Wednesday. I was supposed to do a debate with that marble mouth motherfucker on X yesterday, but he backed out at the last minute, and he said he'd do it today. I'm going to give him one more chance. If he wants to do it today, it should be this afternoon. So follow me on X. If you see the notification come up, I will be debating a retard. And then I will see if Sean wants to get on tonight for the weekly breakdown. Hope he does. Hope we do it. If not, we'll see you tomorrow morning. And then next week, I am getting back to work finally. So I won't be on X as much, but I'll still be doing the show at our regularly scheduled time. All right, boys and girls.